Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance Live channel here on YouTube. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to watch this video presentation. In today's video presentation, I'm going to be speaking to a question that many individuals who are living with brain injuries ask. Will I ever feel normal again? To read the article, I'll put my glasses back on and bring up the article. I want to thank you for your time. You are an important part of my process, and I always enjoy our times together. Here's the article. Surviving a brain injury, will I ever feel normal again? Hello and welcome back to Second Chance to Live, my friend. I'm happy to have you around my table. Recently, I received a question that I feel led to address in this article. The question is one that many brain injury survivors face. I am just wondering, will I ever feel normal again? I still struggle with depression and not feeling like myself. It has been X amount of years. When the individual asked the question, I thought about a statement that I do not particularly like, but in respect to living with a brain injury, it pertains. A new normal. In my experience, and for many years, I had no idea what normal looked like, much less what a new normal would look like for my life. I spent a lot of time guessing at what was normal. I lived in several denial systems for many years, trying not to be impacted by whatever was impacting my life. Once I came out of the 3-week coma, my external wounds healed from the impact of the open skull fracture, right frontal lobe damage, and severe brain bruise with brainstem involvement, as well as my left femur having healed. And I learned how to walk, talk, read, write, speak in complete sentences, etc., and look normal. The impact of the brain injury, or the injury to my brain, was never again factored into the difficulties that I experienced as I lived my life. Instead of understanding and learning how to compensate for, but who knew in 1967 the difficulties that I experienced related to my brain injury, unbeknownst to me, I was blamed, shamed, and made a scapegoat. In response, I joined in with the chorus of blaming and shaming myself for not being enough. In the process, I internalized the difficulties that I encountered as there was something wrong with me. As I repeatedly internalized my difficulties, I turned my anger inward at myself. In my experience, I denied my reality and defended the denial system that could not accept my reality in an attempt to not feel less than for the difficulties that I experienced for not meeting expectations. In my experience, I denied my reality and defended the denial system and systems that could not accept my reality. I defended these denial systems in an attempt to not feel less than, in an attempt to not be blamed and shamed for not being enough. Not only did I defend the denial, but I strove all the more until I reached a threshold in time when the pain of denying my reality superseded my need to defend and deny my reality. But I am glad that I did not give up because of the pain. To read more about what led up to my reaching this threshold, you may click on the following link. And here on Second Chance to Live, in this particular article, there's a link to traumatic brain injury and facing denial, which you can come and click on and read in the event that you would like to do that. By facing my denial, I began to heal. And facing my and other people's denial concerning how my life had and was being impacted by my brain injury, I started to heal. By confronting the denial that perpetuated my feeling less than, I was able to get into action. I was able to begin to grieve what I could not be, learn to accept who I was meant to be, and in the process find a way to pursue my dreams and my destiny. In my experience, I found that as I moved through the grieving process, doors were opened to me. One of the doors was hope. Moving through the grieving process helped me to find a way to be where I was with what I had. Several years ago, I wrote a series to share how I moved through the grieving process. To understand the process of grieving that helped me, you may click on this link, Traumatic Brain Injury and the Grieving Process, which I also have a link here in the article. The process did not happen overnight, and it took a commitment to facing and working through my denial, despite family and other people who sought to convince me that it was all up in my head, that if I just tried hard enough, then I would not be impacted by the traumatic brain injury that occurred in a motor vehicle accident when I was 10 years old. Although facing my denial and the denial that was coming from outside of me was difficult and painful, I am glad that I stuck with the process. What I discovered through sticking with the process was a new normal. By grieving what was, I was able to begin to create and build a life in my new normal. And here's a quote I like. Regardless of your lot in life, you can build something beautiful on it, by Zig Ziglar. More will be revealed to us in time. You and I will get through this period of time in your life. Again, you will get through this period of time in your life. I went through black periods in my life too. Passing through these dark periods is a necessary part of our process. Facing our denial, experiencing anger, realizing that all the bargaining in the world is not going to change the reality that our lives have and are being impacted by our brain injury, and then experiencing the accompanying depression that comes with this reality. Prepare you and I to accept our reality. By accepting our reality that our lives have changed because of our brain injuries, we are able to get into action. We are able to rebuild our lives. We're able to create our new normal as individuals living with brain injuries. This is the end of the article. I want to thank you for your time. Before I go, let me encourage you with this, as I need to remember. Please do not give up on yourself, a loving God, or your process. More will be revealed to us in time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together in the correct order and at the right time. Be encouraged, my friend. I'll say so long for now. God bless both you and your family. So long now.